Yo, welcome back to the channel. Hope you are all good and well. So I was out metal detecting on Sunday in Worcestershire. Pretty good day all round. Got a couple of very special silver medieval, post-medieval coins to show you. If you can hear fireworks, I do apologise. It is that time of year. Before we get into it, can I ask if you could drop a like on the video? It helps the channel massively. And if you are a regular viewer and not yet subscribed, please do consider subscribing. Right, so what did we find? Let's get the buttons done, as always. As I've said, we're going to run a competition when this jar is full. This won't be the prize, so don't worry. So do pay attention. One flat button with shank. Two flat buttons, no shank on that one. Another pewter flat button with shank. And four. Another flat button, actually, so kind of a concave button, no shank. That's four buttons. We did find a few copper coins, but unfortunately the soil was not kind to them. Yeah, pretty bad shape. In fact, literally nothing at all is left of the either face of any of these coins, so completely unidentifiable. But such is the nature of the hobby. You are digging up coins that have been in potentially acidic ground for centuries sometimes. Next we found a little, now if I remember right, these are a rimfire cartridge. I think we can tell that because there's no... Oh, look, it says an R. Does that mean rimfire? Not sure. But yeah, there's no percussion cap on the bottom. I'm not exactly sure how they work, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a rimfire cartridge. Bit of a spoon of some sort, maybe fork, I don't know. Not that old, 1900s. So early 20th century, we'll say. A couple of thimbles, or at least parts of thimbles, both missing the top, strangely. And then look at the size of that one compared to that one. You wouldn't think there'd be so much variation, but maybe they were made to measure. Again, I think these were probably from sort of late 19th to early 20th century. Bit of a buckle, a fragment. Would have been a small ornate buckle. My guess would be 18th, 19th century. Another buckle, much more modern, I think maybe early 20th century. Oh, then we have a early 20th century watch winder, but I was quite pleasantly surprised when I cleaned this off to see there was a bit of the gold gilding left on it. So you can see there it says watchmaker and jeweler, and then on that side, not entirely sure on the name, but it looks like R. Samuel at Market of Manchester, possibly. So yeah, it was quite an interesting little find. We don't mind a watch winder. Right, so onto the silver. So first we've got a cut half. It's a long cross, and I think I can just make out R-I-C. possibly, which of course is part of the way they used to spell Henry back then. And judging by the little bit of a monarch we can see, I think that this is a Henry III. So of course he was the last monarch to have short cross pennies, so this would be the first iteration of a long cross and pellets, which means it would date to kind of, I can't remember the exact date that they changed to long cross, but somewhere around middle of the 1200s or middle of the 13th century. So yeah, nice little cut half. So those that are not regular viewers, I have explained what a cut half is before, but if you imagine that's a penny. With a penny you could buy, well, various things, but one example would be 8 pints of ale. But what happens if you didn't want to buy 8 pints of ale? Well, you might cut it in half and give over just half of the coin. That was one way around the lack of smaller denomination. Of course, the other way was to use lead tokens, but they were localised, and again, I've done a whole video on lead tokens if you're interested in them. Right, so now the special coin. So this coin's special for 2 reasons, actually 3 reasons. The first reason being that it is a very nice example of a Charles I half groat. Look at the fidelity of the design on both faces. If I can get that focused in. So the other reason this is a very special coin is because it was minted by a guy called Nicholas Briot, or Briot. So Nicholas Briot was born somewhere in 1579. He was a coin engraver, medalist and mechanical engineer. So he was born in France, and he was one of the renowned Briot family of pattern makers. He actually became the engraver general of the Paris Mint in 1605. So Briot was a keen advocate of the coin press. So he saw that was the right replacement for the traditional hammer striking method, and he pitched that idea to the French government. Unfortunately for him, it wasn't well received, and he was actually ended up being accused of fraud and chased out of the country by creditors. So in 1625, Briot stepped foot on British soil, where he quickly set about pitching his services to King Charles I of England. Fortunately for him, his services much better received in England. So in 1626, he actually secured his first commission to make the dies for the coronation medals of Charles I. So from there, he was then able to establish his reputation as a master craftsman, and went on to secure his position as chief engraver to the Royal Mint in 1633. So this one is bent and has a hole in it, you may have noticed, which is the second interesting thing about this coin. So we've mentioned these before. Young men would bend a coin as a show, I believe, as a bit of a show of strength, but also as a way of impressing their love interest. So quite often they would do that. You know, it wasn't always well received. So sometimes it'd be cast aside as a way of saying, yeah, that didn't impress me, I'm not interested. However, this one, as you can see, has a little hole in it, which means it most likely was well received and actually worn around the neck or wrist or something as a way of showing off their relationship, I guess. So yeah, what a nice little post-medieval love story, and a very, very nice coin. So there you have it, folks. Obviously that's got to be find of the day. Oh, I should say, actually, I didn't find that, so I borrowed that off someone who found it on the same dig. Full disclaimer, I didn't find that coin. Hope you enjoyed this one, folks. If you did, drop me a like, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.